So Bartolomeo clearly stole the show at the end of this episode of One Piece. He was pissing on the competition, literally and figuratively, and no fucks were given. As of right now, out of all the new introductions in this arc so far, I gotta say Bartolomeo is the most badass and my favorite of all the introductions. And we've had quite a few introductions thus far in Dressrosa, and heck, even in New World for that matter. Like, who's really this badass, not giving a shit to the point where he's pissing in the middle of a tournament, in the middle of a battle? No one, right? Yeah, so Bartolomeo definitely was kicking ass in this week's episode. This episode, for the most part, it had three things that I felt were the most important, or were important for that matter, because for the most part, this episode had a lot of fighting. It was a lot of fighting, and just because it's fighting doesn't mean it's always entertaining, because some of it was just plain like, I don't care about some of these characters. We got between the Don Chinjao beginning. That was important, and that was good stuff. He's just there, I want my revenge, and he's going in. You see him smashing his head on the ground, and I'm not gonna lie, for a moment I was laughing when these people are just looking at him. It's like, yo, Don Chinjao's going crazy. He's ramming his head into the ground. What the fuck's going on? I was laughing because that shit was funny, but Don Chinjao don't give a shit. He cracked an ice continent. He, like, come on. So, Don Chinjao, very impressive in this week's episode. His grandsons have to stop him. And it's interesting, there's a little bit of foreshadowing about their overall mission. They're pretty much saying, you know, if you get us disqualified, then we won't be able to get what we came for. And I'm guessing that's the Mera fruit. Why do they want it? Does Don Chinjao want it? Definitely a little bit of foreshadowing there for the future events. So, the beginning of the episode, pretty good stuff. In the middle, the only thing that I would say that was important was you definitely have this hack character that he says that he, his friend Jinbei, just like his friend Jinbei, he's gonna kick ass or whatever, or he's gonna do things in a just way. So you can see that he's along the lines of a good person. He's a fisherman that is with maybe the same or similar ideals as Jinbei, and he's kicking ass. So interesting connection to Jinbei that we got there. So that was a little bit interesting and important. And then during the fight or whatever, there was just a lot of characters that I just really didn't care for. Abdullah and Jeeks or G's or whatever the heck his name is, didn't care for it, and it just felt irrelevant as hell. Blue Gilly, didn't care for him, irrelevant as hell as well. So there were some battles in here that I just didn't really care for. But you could see where some of them are centered towards, like, okay, this might be an interesting character, or this might be important, because you have this guy, Ricky, and they're kind of saying, where did he come from? He's so beast and he's so powerful, and only Ricky and Hack are taking out all these people at once. So this guy, Gladiator Ricky, very interesting that he just came out of nowhere. All of a sudden, he's super strong. They've heard of a lot of these people, like Cavendish, they've heard of all these people, Don Chinjao, but this guy Ricky came about. So what is his role in this? Is he just somebody that's really strong? Definitely, I like the way they're presenting him in the anime. And the manga, you didn't really get that much of a presence from him, and I overall just didn't feel it with him. In the anime, it feels a little bit more of a epicness to him, I guess you could say. So anime doing a good job there, but the middle of this episode just really wasn't there. It was just kind of like, I don't care about Elizabello with that bullshit of him being able, like, I think that that's just a rumor that spread. I do not believe that Elizabello's punch, maybe it is strong, but I don't see, like, him being able to knock out Shanks, or him being able to knock out Whitebeard when he was still alive. Come on, really? Do you really see Whitebeard getting knocked out by a punch regardless of how strong it is? I can see him maybe getting hit by him, maybe falling down, maybe possibly, or something. Even that is really a stretch. The only person I can see out of the Yonkou that possibly would fall down is Blackbeard, but then again, that's Blackbeard. He'll fall down, get back up, and do something fucked up to Elizabello. So, I ain't really buying that shit of his punch being that strong. I think that's a rumor that went crazy or something. Maybe he hit somebody really strong, or they spread it, or something along the lines of that. But I just don't buy what was said in last week's episode and in this week's episode. And regardless of what, like, okay, let's put it into perspective. This whole punch of Elizabello, he pretty much needs, what is it, an hour to charge it? And he needs to charge for an hour. This is the worst type of combat you could ever come with, because, okay, let's just say he charges it up before he gets there, so he has to make sure he has this ready an hour beforehand, and then he goes in, and if he misses that punch, that's it, you're fucking done. So Elizabello, while it may be some strong feat or whatever, again, I'm questioning that, overall it's one fucking punch. You're like One Punch Man, bro, and if you miss, you're done. So King Elizabello, definitely just not feeling him, and overall I just think, like, it was whatever. The middle of this episode just really wasn't feeling it. It was fighting, but it was just like a lot of irrelevant characters, fodder characters, for the most part, not all of them. So it was just like whatever. Then the ending of the episode, Bartolomeo shows up, and the ending of the episode really took it home. So it was kind of like good at a beginning, Don't give a fuck about the middle. Middle was just whatever. Didn't really care for it. It was kind of it had some good stuff in it, but it just overall wasn't all that interesting. And at times it felt like this was filler or some shit with some clearly like fodder. Like they don't even have names. They're fighting. And then at the end of the episode, Bartolomeo, when he's there taking a piss and trolling the competition, he's like, yeah, I'm taking a piss right now. Oh my god, hold on, let me finish. I'm just kidding. So it really makes you question what is his ability, because Hack's arm looks broken when he went to punch him. So it has to be some sort of defense or some sort of repelling, something along the lines of that he can do, because we don't get to see it. It happens off screen. So definitely really intriguing in that aspect. And overall, this episode, like I said, 3, maybe 4 important things to it, but definitely a lot of, stuff that was just really irrelevant. So as a whole, I say it was a fine episode. Enjoyment-wise, wasn't really all that until the end, but as far as importance and value and overall progression and giving you information, it was alright. I give this one a 6 out of 10. Fine episode. Some good bits to it, but again, a lot of slow pacing and irrelevant stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on this episode, but let me know what you guys think. First of all, what do you think Bartolomeo's power is? Do you think it's some sort of defense? What was that? Because, I mean, the dude Hack was looking beast. He took out like 18 people, and one punch and his arm is like broken there on the ground. So that shows Bartolomeo is at the very least somewhat of a formidable guy, because this guy Hack is friends with Jinbei, and Jinbei ain't friends with lightweights. I mean, he caught up Arlong a long time ago, and not to disrespect Arlong, because Arlong's a beast, but you get what I'm saying. So there's some interesting facts. And the beginning of the episode with Don Chinjao quickly becoming a very serious and formidable threat. His voice is a little bit different than what I expected. I thought he would have a much deeper voice, but he has more so of like a grandfatherly, playful voice, which is interesting, but I guess in a sense, Don Chinjao is a goofy design, so give him a goofy voice or whatever. Your overall thoughts of the episode? What do you think of the beginning with Don Chinjao, and just overall, what do you think of the episode? Some slow bits in it, but overall some good bits in there. Here it's spread out as well, so not as bad as it could have been. But that's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Thumbs up for Bartolomeo pissing on the competition, not giving a fuck. I love that shit. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.